So, what have I actually been doing after Bologna Children's Book Fair? By the time I'm recording this, it's been nearly 2 months, coming up to 3 months even. It's taken me a while to put everything together, and that's because I've actually taken a moment to rest, let it all soak in. I've actually had family around. I've sold my first ever art print. Got someone who contacted me on Instagram asking whether they can buy a print of my art. To be specific, it's this one over here. It's gonna be the first time I'm actually sending a print out for my artwork as an order, so I'm like, my mind is like blown right now. I've actually ordered some materials for the print as well as some envelopes, so the package has arrived. Yeah, they're literally just like the do not bend envelopes, and they're like this, and I'm hoping it's got that grain effect I'm looking for. The next one I have is like this matte paper. I'm not sure which one I like most. So I've actually done this a couple of times. So the first time I really wanted to see how it compared to my portfolio paper, which is bright white, which I'm like, no, I don't think so. However, the back of it is cream, so I printed it on there. I mean, I like it, but I don't know. If we're gonna go with paper as a print, real life, in-person item, why not go with a little bit of texture? So I printed it on this one. This is the cardstock that just arrived. It feels like, you know, one of those like canvas painting paper, and then I was like, oh yeah, I really like it, but I also do wonder what it's like on the back. So I printed it on the back as well, just to see how it kind of compares. There's less textures to the back. The colours are a little bit more muted. I feel that the details here is not printed as sharply as this one, so I decided to go with this one, and so I printed it out. However, the ink started to do this really weird thing. I don't know if you can see. It's a bit streaky on the hair. There's like horizontal lines where it shouldn't be, so I'm like, no, and then I fixed the ink. So I printed this one. Final go and attempt fine. Yeah, I really like it. It's so, honestly, it's just so weird to see my art printed like this. So I'm just gonna package it up now and send it to my first ever customer. Thank you so much for your support. I really hope you like it. And honestly, thank you so much for believing in me and wanting a piece of my art in your home. This is like so surreal. I tried to make a little handwritten note. It took me 1, 2, 6 goes to finally get this one. Just gonna, thank you, pass it over. I'm actually part of a coaching program. It comes in 2 parts. I've done the first part. I now need to do the work and need to go through the second part of this portfolio review. It's actually a lead that I got from Bologna. I already mentioned it in this video. I'm going to share it when it is ready and I've done the whole thing. Finish the artist's way for the second time. Whoop whoop. There might be a bit of a spoiler alert later in this video. And I've started to draw again. I just couldn't help myself but to draw, but then I've been thinking about what's my one thing. My one thing was to get the Bologna video out. I feel like it's so part of my practice, my creative practice, to reflect with you before I feel like I can move on. It's like a weird dilemma over here. I have been continuing with sketch clubs. I started it over here. I shared what the plan was, and it's going to be our 20th session soon. Like, how quick has that gone? And yeah, finally I have actually put the two Bologna Children's Book Fair videos together. I guess the big question is, what's next? In Journal 43, I actually shared some big goals for this year. We're actually halfway through the year already. I thought it would be a good time to kind of reflect before we move on, so you know where I'm coming from. So the first big task was to complete the portfolio website, and that was going to be for the Bologna Fair, so that's like double tick. I was going to complete the Good Shape Illustration business course, started it. It really helped with my website. I went through the rest of the course, and it was pretty advanced for where I am at. I'm really glad that it is a lifetime course, because it means that I get to do it when I'm ready. The next big goal that I have for this year was to figure out what makes me artistically happy, excited, using these hands, like visually. And I actually set myself two big main projects. The first one was The Artist Way, wanted to redo that, as well as fresh paint. This is what the next video is going to be about. The Artist Way, my experience, is the second time that I'm doing it, and what did I learn this time compared to the first time. Spoiler alert, the first time, if I didn't do this book, this channel would not be here. So I think to say, you know, it was pretty successful the first time. The second time, just as successful, and I'm going to share why in the next video. The second project I was going to set for myself was 100 days of fresh paint, and I'm not going to be taking this for this year anymore. There is a new direction. I've been asking a lot of questions. Is it important to do observational drawing, or is it more important to figure out the fundamentals first? Like, how important is draftsmanship? And at this point, after reflecting the Bologna Children's Book Fair, going through the Artist Way, talking to different illustrators, like, for me, to build that confidence in me personally, I need both. I need to figure out what's my natural flavour with the observational drawing, and actually learn the fundamentals, the technical stuff, the composition, values, colour, perspective, character design, what it is that I need to look for, how can I bend the rules to make it into something that's, you know, that feels like me. So I'm going to take some time out to learn that, and I'm going to be bringing you with me. Plans. Observational drawing, I'm going to develop more of a sketchbook practice, and to kick that off, I'm going to be doing the free materials challenge, and that's hosted by Naomi Tippin, Charlotte Durant, and Catherine. I'm so sorry if I hacked your names, but yeah, that's going to be hosted in Instagram. It's like a 50-day challenge. It's something to do with using 3 different materials and just drawing from life every day. So I'm excited for that. To level up my draftsmanship, I did think about going back to Drawbox for this, which is a free online course to do with perspective, textures, translating the world we have around us onto a paper, a 2D form. But now that I have more of an understanding of what I need to create an illustration, I've decided to not go to that, but do the SVS Learn Foundation curriculum. If this is the first time you've heard about SVS, I actually spoke about it in this video, number 18. SVS actually stands for School of Visual Storytelling. It's led by 3 guys, Jake Parker, Lee White, and Will Terry. They're all illustrators. They're still in the industry. Between them all, they've published 75 picture books, and they have all taught in universities. Each of these points I absolutely love, because when I was doing workshops in Bologna and portfolio reviews, I felt the people who gave me like the best constructive feedback were people who had university backgrounds. They know how to structure it, they know the psychology of a student. So these guys actually run a YouTube channel, and as soon as their video comes up, it's one of those videos where I just want to stop everything and just listen to them, because yeah, their conversations just really resonate with me as someone who's like in their early career trying to figure this path out, which is why I really want to go to these guys to build my foundations. They have a course called the Foundation Curriculum. It comes in 4 parts: foundations, character design, environment, and storytelling. I'm going to give myself a year. After doing their curriculum, you get 12 portfolio pieces. I think in the future they're going to be naming it the Art Bridge. I'll put a link down below anyway if you're interested. I'm not affiliated or anything, just to let you know. I'm just going to be doing it off my own back and use the money that I managed to save up from my part-time job. They are actually one of the reasons why I chose not to do fresh paint. It's because one of the recent episodes, I think it was Lee White who mentioned this, that when we're starting out, it's better just to focus on the pen, pencil, and paper. Keep it really simple, because once we figured out the techniques that goes into an illustration, we will find it less overwhelming to play around with mediums. And I totally get that, right? I've been really overwhelmed with, oh, what materials should I use? Not really knowing where to kind of start. So that was like a really big thing that resonated with me, as well as in a different episode, they mentioned needing to feel no pressure, being willing to draw something 13 times. And this really resonated with me. A spoiler alert is that the Artist Way taught me how precious I was with my art. And even though the Good Ship illustration and the Instagram challenges has helped me tackle this, I didn't really know what was lingering in there. But now I feel like I've figured out what it is exactly, specifically, for me to then problem solve it and just face it head on. Because I've now identified where I am and what I need to do, I don't think I'm going to be going to Bologna Children's Book Fair next year, only because I want to take this time to fully understand my art, my taste, and what actually comes out from these hands, and what do I like from it. So that's all I have for this video. I'm looking forward to see what the next one brings, and I hope you've had a wonderful week. Remember to stay true to yourself, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!